Last week, Democratic U.S. Representative Colin Affred and Republican U.S. Senator Ted Cruz squared off in a televised debate for the 2024 Texas Senate elections. For those who missed it, Newswave reporter Max Craig has your recap.
On October 17, 2024, Democratic U.S. Representative Colin Affred and incumbent Republican U.S. Senator Ted Cruz faced off in their first and only debate for the U.S. Senate. The 55-minute debate held in Dallas was hostile and confrontational. Senator Cruz tried to paint Allred as a radical and a leftist and tied him to Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris, a line of attack that Cruz is betting will work in the more conservative state of Texas. Allred painted Cruz as extreme and never there when we need him. The race is important nationally because it could help decide which party controls the U.S. Senate. The latest polling average from 538.com shows Cruz leading Allred by 4 points. The contest covered a range of issues including abortion, transgender issues, border security, and January 6th insurrection.
We'll give you 60 seconds.
I want to be very clear to the people of Texas. I support the protections and the restrictions under Roe. But Senator Cruz just called himself pro-life. You're not. You're not pro-life. It's not pro-life to deny women care so long that they can't have children anymore. It's not pro-life to force a victim of rape to carry their rapist's baby. It's not pro-life that our maternal mortality rate has skyrocketed up by 56%. That's not pro-life, Senator.
Exceptions like
Jason, I'm curious. Why do you keep asking me that? But yet, hold on a second. I've asked Congressman Allred twice about his voting record and the fact that he voted to strike down Texas's parental notification law and parental consent law. You haven't asked him about that. That is his record. He doesn't deny it. He gives language that is disconnected from the actual voting record he has. And listen, my view, I believe in democracy.
In fact, he does worse than nothing. When the toughest border security bill in a generation came up in the United States Senate, $20 billion for border security, he said, we don't need a border bill. That's what he said. And listen, this is a pattern for him. He's never there for us when we need him. When the lights went out in the energy capital of the world, he went to Cancun.
Well, Congressman Allred has memorized his lines well. I will say this, though. He asked, what have you done? We produced the lowest rate of illegal immigration in 45 years, working hand in hand with President Trump. He didn't address that. He also didn't address the fact that it didn't take a bill for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and Colin Allred to break the border. It took a president refusing to enforce the law.
I mean, it's a lot. And I stand here as a proxy for millions of Texans who are sick and tired of this act. When Ted Cruz starts talking about team sports, you got to watch out because the only position he ever played was left out.
Look, we should protect every child. We should protect every person. I have advocated protecting the safety of every child, of every person, regardless of race, gender, sexual orientation, sexual identity. Everyone deserves to be protected against violent crime, against discrimination. So, Gromer, thank you for that question. Listen, my view is clear. I think anyone who commits an act of violence should be prosecuted and should go to jail. If you assault a police officer, you should go to jail for a very long time. And by the way, that's true whether I happen to agree with your politics or disagree with your politics. I've spent...
Oh, that was really something. I have to say, you can't be for the mob on January 6th and for the officers. You can't. And it's not funny because you're a threat to democracy.
Sure.
I was on the House floor when we went through the votes. I remember when you objected to the results in Arizona.
I recommend everyone go watch the debate in its full context so you can understand each candidate's views and plans to handle these important issues. Again, this race is very important for both the state of Texas and nationally because it could help decide which party controls the U.S. Senate. Please make a plan to vote.